This is Actar's Reviews, from anime to figures and beyond.
Hey, this is Actar and welcome to another episode of Actar's Replica Reviews. So, I'm sure that many of you know that I'm not the biggest fan of nostalgia bait. Most of the time, it's just a half-hearted attempt by companies to prey on sentimental old fans like me in order to make a quick buck. However, sometimes, just sometimes, they actually put in a bit of effort and we the fans get a treat instead of a trick. The CSA Digivice was one of those treats, and this is another. It is my pleasure to present to you Takara Tomy's 2016 line of Cardcaptor Sakura toys. Yup, you heard me right, Takara Tomy and not Bandai. It looks like they managed to get a hold of the Cardcaptor Sakura license, and you can bet that they are making full use of it. We have the Clow Cards, the Sealing Stuff, the Clow Book, a Talking Hero plush, and the Clow Key. But today, we'll first be taking a look at just the Clow Cards. When I first heard about this a couple of months back, I couldn't believe it. A full-fledged Cardcaptor Sakura toy line instead of just a lame re-release of the old toys? Yeah, thanks for that, Bandai. Seriously? How cool is this? They are treating Cardcaptor Sakura as if it were a modern magical girl show coming out today and using 2016 toy technology to bring the on-screen magic to you. So what do I actually mean? Well, you know how most modern-day roleplay toys revolve around a collectible gimmick of some kind? Think Kamen Rider, Precure, Super Sentai, and Yokai Watch. These little collectibles interact with the various toys in their respective lines and expand their play value and functions. Well, for this new Cardcaptor 2016 toy line, the Clow Cards are the collectible gimmick. Each of the Clow Cards have some kind of RFID chip in it that allows the other toys to identify each card and interact with it. That is brilliant because it not only allows us to recreate the on-screen experience, it makes each individual Clow Card so much more valuable and distinct from one another. Thankfully, unlike the other franchises, they are not staggering the release of the Clow Cards, making you buy every single toy or forcing you to collect them all via blind bags. No. They are all available to you right from the get-go, split into two sets, light and dark, with each set containing 26 Clow Cards. One of the reasons that they are split into two is because of their price. As these cards contain an electronic gimmick, their price is going to shoot way up. So by doing this, they've effectively lowered the barrier to entry. Also, this is one of the first times where the Clow Cards are sold separately from the Clow Book, meaning to say that if you want to get any use out of these cards outside of just looking good, you're going to have to get the other toys to go along with it. Taking a look at the boxes, I really do enjoy the box designs. It's in keeping with the theme of Cardcaptor Sakura and looks to be an evolution of the previous box designs, updated to look more busy, modern and snazzy. I particularly like the use of the stage aesthetic, what with the curtains, to enhance the feeling of fantasy and enchantment. Just like the old Bandai packaging, we have the sun right up top and the cards laid out against a very posh and classy backdrop in front. This is next to a window display featuring the titular card of the set, either the light or the dark, allowing you to see what the actual cards look like. Interesting to note that the art that is used on these toys is from the DVD cover art as opposed to the anime. Something that I must point out is that while the mirror is featured on the front of the dark set, it's actually included in the light set. Now that's rather deceptive. I suppose this picture must have been taken before the final lineup was decided, but this just doesn't seem right to me. Regardless, the full lineup of cards can be seen on the backs of these boxes, along with a little diagram showing you what the Clow Cards do with each toy and whose voices they unlock. So with that said, let's open these up and take a look at the contents inside. The only other thing included besides the cards themselves is an instruction sheet that goes over their functions and gives you a complete list of the included cards. As for the cards themselves, I have to admit that they are some of the most sturdy Clow Cards I've ever handled in my life. As they have to contain an RFID chip, they are much thicker than any of the other Clow Cards ever released before and are made of plastic with a matte finish on both sides. Now, this is both a good and a bad thing. As mentioned, these are extremely durable. They are heavy, solid, and will survive almost anything. You actually have to put in effort to damage them and forget about accidentally bending or breaking them. This is also perfect because these cards are meant to be played with the other toys and will need to endure some rough housing. If you want to go out cosplaying, these are the cards to get. But of course, the downside is, well, that they are extremely thick. 2 times thicker than a regular cardboard Clow card, and this will cause problems. Problems that will become evident later on. So here are the Takara Tomy Clow cards next to Bandai's Clow cards and Kodansha's Clow cards. Looking at them side by side, it seems that Takara Tomy took inspiration from both the previous 2 card designs. It's more show accurate in terms of the color scheme, but it incorporates the textured shading from the Kodansha version. Size-wise, it's also similar to the Kodansha one. Note, however, that the borders of the Takara Tomy cards are inaccurate. For one, there is hardly any space on the bottom where one would write their name. On the other hand, looking at the backs of the cards, the top and bottom borders of the Takara Tomy cards are way too wide. This is really interesting as the prototypes did not have this issue. I really wonder if it was done to squeeze in more space for the trademark information. As for Clow's Magic Circle, they all look really different from one another, with the Takara Tomy version being once again a mix of the previous 2 card designs, being in the middle in terms of the contrast between the front and back circles. All in all, I don't know how to feel about Takara Tomy's take. My personal favorite version is still the Bandai one, as it's the closest to the anime design, and I'm a stickler for accuracy. But being in the middle of the road, I think the Takara Tomy version will definitely satisfy fans of both prior versions, and it's definitely closer to the anime than the clamp illustrated Kodansha one. So all that's left to do is to take a look at all 52 Clow cards. For the light set, we have the light, the windy, the earthy, the wood, the fly, the move, the mist, the thunder, the freeze, the cloud, the time, the create, the maze, the dream, the libra, the jump, the power, the change, the little, the shot, the lock, the shadow, the voice, the mirror, the loop, and the sand. And for the dark set, we have the dark, the watery, the fiery, the flower, the float, the through, the rain, the storm, the snow, the wave, the return, the race, the twin, the illusion, the sleep, the dash, the fight, the big, the sword, the arrow, the shield, the glow, the song, the silent, the bubbles, and the sweet. So in conclusion, if you're looking to get the most out of your other 2016 Takara Tomy Cardcaptor Sakura toys, this set is a must-get. However, considering their high price, it's definitely hard for me to recommend them by themselves, as they're really nothing more than a durable and nice-looking set of Clow cards that you won't be able to use to their full potential. They don't even come with their own Clow book, and it will be hard for you to store them. If a replica set is all you're looking for, do consider tracking down the Kodansha set or the Bandai set instead. So, this is Hector saying, see you guys in the next episode.